Hi, group. For article discussion number 6, I'm looking into French Romanticism. I read an article titled Delacroix's Response to Delacroix's Scenes from the Massacres at Chios, 1824. Article is by Margaret McNamee. So it's a history painting. You do need a bit of a history background. So this refers to a tragic event in Greek history. In 1822, Ottoman forces entered into the island of Chios in Greece, and during several months they slaughtered 20,000 citizens, and they enslaved the rest of the population, about 70,000. Delacroix exhibited this painting at the Salon in 1824. Um, from the early stages, the critics they thought the painting was difficult to assess because of the various imposing figures dominated the foreground. They couldn't figure out which figure was the most important. They noted fragmentation and obscuring of bodies. Also, they thought the painting, the technique was not perfect. They noted thickening and thinning of the paint across the surface of the painting, and then suddenly there would be precise, perfect details. But they did notice one figure in the middle, one of a bearded Greek male lying near the center of the composition, and he is holding a classic recumbent pose on his side. He's almost entirely nude. In appearance, he's not that different from his companions, but still, he drew attention for a number of reasons. Basically, the main thesis is that um, he did kind of came to the rescue and saved the whole painting. Really, um, the figure he really had a strong appeal for a contemporary audience, especially Delacroix. Delacroix used to be a student of Jacques-Louis David, which we know. Uh, as a critic, he was reluctant to accept innovation overall. However, he called this Greek figure in the painting, quotes, the most remarkable figure in the painting. And he did note his features, his compelling, almost mysterious expression, and a slight smile that he couldn't really figure out. Delacroix was really obsessed with this male figure at the center of the painting. Two aspects mainly of this nude have received particular attention. Number one is passivity. So he's wounded, he's dying. Feel free to look at the painting while I'm talking about it. And if you look at all the rest of the figures in the composition, um, some say there may be echoes of a lamentation scene. Uh, However, it will also hold some more significance. Delacroix and other critics with him, they failed to focus on any particular part of the painting, but they all agreed this was the most interesting one. They did agree on the fact that Delacroix had been very subtle with the strange expressions of his figures. There's no isolated dramatic scene. There's a series of dramatic scenes within the painting. It's not just the one man dying. Like there's many people dying on this kind of battleground, really. Um, and there's a female nude. There's a running figure which they identified as a distressed mother of the nude, possibly. There's an Ottoman soldier on horseback, and everyone holding various expressions of suffering. Um, so they made a selected decision to focus on the one figure of the bearded Greek nude, Greek male. He's the central figure. He's deep, really deep in his suffering and his sense of injury, they said. His body is depleted. You can say that he's ready to die, but we can tell that he has fought long and hard, and he knows he is now being defeated. Um, he is mm, he shows, one critic said, in his eyes, the quote, immobility of death. He has kind of lapsed into inwardness. I guess his life may just be flashing before his eyes. That's what I would think of this figure. Some viewers did say the figure was way too introvertly sunk in his own thoughts that he could not be someone suffering on the battleground. Um, I would say, to play devil's advocate, that there's not really a battleground. This is just a massacre. Because you go soldiers basically slaughtering civilians, really. And the figure also is wearing kind of a slight convulsive smile, um, as if he can't believe what is happening. So I end up, no, I don't have a hard time believing that that could be a reaction of someone that, in the irony of defeat, and someone can't believe what's happening. Delacruz realized he was not alone in struggling to figure out this figure and to grasping the meaning of the painting overall. Um, I think the main question, which you could call the research question, and then we finally wrapping up and going back to the initial thesis, what was the man thinking at the time? What was what were his thoughts? And he finally stated, Delacruz finally stated that, just citing him, that these thoughts were powerful enough to exempt him from the forces that stalked the desolate scene around him and even repair the overall confusion of the painting. End of quote. So basically, Delacruz is saying that um, this great character came to the rescue and saved a painting that without him it would not have been a remarkable one at all. It may be a bit harsh in his judgment, but apparently, reading other examples across the text about Delacruz criticizing and commenting other paintings, this, it sounds like that's the best you can get from him. So yeah, that was the article. I hope you liked it, and speak next time. Bye bye.